thank you so much for joining this rollover webinar. My name is Jenna Witherbee, and I'm one of the advisors on the team at 401k Plan Professionals. And today's webinar about rollovers is one that I think will be very pertinent, not only now, but I'm excited to have this as a resource for people in the future because this is a question that we get a lot. So I have some really great information for you today. So today's webinar is a part of our webinar series where we take 30 minutes or less every month or so, and we talk about a different topic, not just specifically 401k related, but we talk about a lot of different aspects of our financial wellness and retirement planning. So today's webinar will be recorded and we'll be posting it up, sending it out, as well as it'll be added into our library from all of our past webinars. We've done about one a month for the last several years, so we have quite a few now in our library. And feel free to share this with anybody that you think would find value in it. If you are a plan administrator, definitely hang on to this recording when you get it. This would be great to give out as a resource to any of your staff that have questions on rollovers. And of course, we are a great resource for them as well. And I will just say today's content is more just high level. It's not giving any sort of recommendations or telling you what you have to do, but it's more just laying out your different options and things to consider if you are coming into a situation where you're wondering if you should do a rollover. Okay. And if there's questions, you can put them in the chat. Otherwise, I will ask for questions at the end, and my contact information is at the end as well. But the question we get a lot is, should I roll over my 401k to my new employer's 401k plan? So it is not uncommon for people to change careers, change jobs, go in and out of the workforce. And so you might find yourself with multiple retirement accounts as you go throughout your career. And please just know that this is really one of the most common questions we get. I mean, besides how do I enroll in my new 401k plan, it's what should I do with my old ones? So the first thing to do is just determine that you're able to. So if we're the advisors on the plan, you can ask us. Most plans do allow for incoming rollovers, but you just want to double check, first of all, can you do that? And then when can you do that? So sometimes there is a wait period for when you need to, when you can roll the money in. Maybe you need to first meet eligibility for your plan. Some plans even let you roll money in right away upon hire, and you don't need to wait until you're necessarily eligible for their 401k plan. So just ask us. Like I said, if we're the advisors on the plan, we can look through the plan rules in the legal plan document and let you know that. And then with your previous account, usually if you have more than 5,000 in it, most employers will allow you to leave that existing account where it is, and they can't legally force you out. But again, that'd be something to just double check because every plan has a little bit different rules. So mainly you just want to make sure that they're not going to at any point force you out and force you into making a decision. Sometimes if your account balance with your previous job is less than 5,000, at some point, some plans can force you out, meaning they'd automatically roll you into an IRA or cash out that smaller 401k balance. So those are some questions that we would ask you to kind of dig into. And we're more than happy to help you obtain those answers. But these are really the first kind of things to dig into as far as determining, can you even do it, when, and things like that. But these are really the main three considerations that I talk about with individuals when it comes to rolling over their 401k plan. Number one is performance. We'll go into that in a little more detail, cost, and then the convenience. So performance, by that I mean, what are your investment options in the previous plan versus your current plan? In the 401k space, especially the plans that we serve, 99% of the time, the types of investments that you're seeing are mutual funds, which are a pool of many different company stocks. They're a very diversified type of investment portfolio. But in your previous plan, you might have had other types of investment options. You might have had the ability to buy company stock, could be a special kind of annuity type product. Again, every plan is a little bit different. And so part of what we help people do is compare what are your investment options in your previous 401k versus what are your investment options in your new 401k plan, and what has the past performance been like. And we can even go as far as to spreadsheet it out if that's easier to kind of look at and compare. But that in and of itself, I think, is a main consideration. Just how are my funds doing? How's my performance been in comparison to my new choices? So that might be a consideration for you in determining whether you do a rollover or not. And then the second one is cost. So this one, I think we really do help people with lifting the hood and comparing, okay, what is the cost of my funds or just for running my previous 401k account versus what are the costs I have now with my new employer's plan. And this could be hard for you to see, especially if you're not used to looking at 401k and investment fees. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to determine what even are my fees. Some plans derive the cost from revenue sharing, which is kind of built into the investment expense of the, say, mutual fund as an example. But some plans have something that's a little more clear called an asset charge. Could have a different name, but essentially a charge that's added on top of your investment fees. Some have annual record keeping fees or quarterly record keeping fees. So it really varies from plan to plan. Something that's helpful is if you can obtain an old statement, or even if you can present us with the annual fee disclosure, whether you are mailed that or emailed that, or you can pull it up online or call the provider and ask for it. But you do legally have to get something called an annual fee disclosure from the provider. Whether people read it or not, that's up to them, but that is something on an annual basis that they should be providing you, kind of a breakdown of your different plan fees. And then the third consideration I would say is convenience. So besides performance and cost, sometimes just the convenience trumps everything. So just the thought of having everything in one place, maybe it's just easier for you to manage, easier to see, easier to not lose track of. The biggest hurdle here, I would say, is when people move and previous providers don't have your proper contact information. They can no longer communicate with you via mail. And if you didn't have an email address or a phone number in there, really, they have no way to contact you if you don't keep your contact information up to date. So I do see that every once in a while where somebody says, I think I have an account there, but I haven't gotten anything or heard from them or gotten an email in a really long time. I don't even remember who the provider is. Sometimes that happens. So if you are the type of person that says, yeah, I really don't want to monkey with managing multiple accounts, I would rather be a little more organized and just have it in one place, there's something to be said about that too. And I would say that just kind of varies by maybe personality type and just what works best for you. So we're happy to help in any capacity that we can. Here's some things that we do often for people that are inside the plans we manage. Like I had mentioned, we can spreadsheet things out. It's just a matter of you giving us the info. So if you can give us an old statement or a print off maybe from your previous 401k website, we're more than happy to do an analysis where we compare performance, costs, things like that. We can put it into a spreadsheet and have like-to-like funds right next to each other, color code them. So then it's just kind of visually easier to kind of see and make an educated decision on the performance and the cost. If somebody says, yeah, I want to go ahead and have you help me with a rollover, it's been working really well to do a Zoom call or a 3-way phone call with your provider. So I pretty much do this on an almost daily basis, but we'd call together to your old provider and request that they roll the money over to your new 401k provider. Sometimes they can process it completely over the phone. Sometimes they have their own internal distribution or rollover form that they can email, or maybe it's something we can go online and download. I would say the toughest thing here for most individuals is just that there is no universal process. So it really just depends on that particular provider, how they handle it. Most of the time, two providers will send you the check, even though it's written out to the new provider. A lot of times they will have to, for security purposes, mail you the check, and then you'll turn around and send it to the new provider. So, as you can maybe hear, it's a little bit, can kind of be clunky. And so that's where I think we can really assist people. Like we make the phone call with you. We'll help you pre-fill out the paperwork. We'll get it to where it needs to go. Maybe it needs to be signed off on by your plan administrator. So we'll kind of be the middle person and the liaison between old and new. And then also I like to just kind of keep track in your transaction history. Did the rollover hit your account? And then I would send you an email or give you a quick phone call and say, hey, your rollover is complete. I see the money in there effective January 31st. We're all good to go. So there's a lot of kind of those little things that we do day in and day out, where to us, it's like, this is just what we do, where it may be a foreign concept to you if you've never done it before. I know it can kind of get frustrating. So we want to make it as easy as possible for you. And then with your current plan, a lot of times there's an incoming rollover form. So that's really just a form saying, hey, I've got this money coming in from the old. So we can help you with that paperwork as well. So it's kind of a two-step process. And again, this is not saying you have to do this. I'm just laying out some considerations when you're getting to that point, if you're getting to that point of, should I do this or not? Here's just a sample rollover form. There's one for every single provider. So they all look a little bit different. Similar information, but just different layout. And this is just an example of something we could help you with. So again, it's your money, your choice. There's no right or wrong answer with this. You need to review your options, choose what's best for you. And we're here to help you make that educated decision. But really at the end of the day, it is your choice. So there's additional resources for you on our website, 401kplanprofessionals.com. We also have a YouTube channel where a lot of our previous webinars and other Q&A type videos are housed. So you can find us on YouTube at 401k Plan Professionals. You can even subscribe to our YouTube channel. So when we put out new content, you'll get a notification of that. Again, thank you so much for joining this short webinar. Hope it was informational for you. Our next one will be a fiduciary training. That is a quarterly training, and the next one will be on March 10th. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's my phone number and my email address, and really any of us on our team are more than happy to help you. Thanks again for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.